Right,
Yeah.
SW6 Blues, Pride of London. We've got Martin King. Obviously, Chelsea lost yesterday to Leicester in the FA Cup final. So, Martin, first question really, mate, is how do you feel how the game went and how do you feel about it? Was it a deserved win to Leicester or do you
Well,
feel
yeah,
cheated by VAR?
this is our second cup. Last year we played Arsenal and we never turned up under Frank Lampard. This year, again, there's no passion. We never turned up. You know, fair play to Leicester. You know, if you're going to lose to a team like, you know, with the support they got and the owners and what they've been through, and I don't mind losing to Leicester, but I don't mind losing if Chelsea turn up. But we were atrocious. We were, besides Schmeichel's saves, we weren't in it until the last minute and when that offside. But we were atrocious. There was no passion. We spoke many times, Matt, about some of the players at Chelsea I'm not happy with.
Yeah.
They got started all this rubbish of sideways, backwards. We've got Juninho in midfield who just points at everyone to do something and he does nothing himself. You know, I mean, a great goal, yeah. You know, a fantastic goal. Again, the goalkeeper might have done better. If we'd have had a regular keeper in goal, he might well have saved it. Eduardo might have saved it. But you've got to blame our midfield. He ran 30, 40 yards with the ball, unopposed. Everyone's backing off. There's Juninho trailing in his wake, pointing at everyone where to go. Why don't he go off? He's one of our holding midfield players, and he let him go away. And I was just absolutely fuming. I don't mind. I'm not one of these who sulk after a game that we get beat, but that was piss poor from Chelsea. They were fucking rubbish. Absolute shit again. Second cup final. And, you know, I spoke about this yesterday with you on Pitch Radio. And you can see it happening. You know, first 10 minutes good, and then he brings on. We ended up with about 6 strikers on the field. And midfield was non-existent. Leicester, they had a game plan and they carried it out to the team. Fair play to them. They were great. They deserved to win it. I mean, they done well, Leicester, yesterday. Schmeichel kept them in the game. The defence was solid. And Vardy's always an handball, as we spoke about yesterday. But to lose again in the cup final, and they don't seem to care. It's like, you know, they should be proud to wear the shirt and get in the cup on and try. But they did it. Some of them weren't even trying. Some of them just couldn't be bothered. And our supporters, fucking, it was like a morgue. You know, you go on the Leicester fans, they're all singing and jumping up and down. You go to our supporters when the cameras were going on our supporters, and it was like the fucking Undertakers. You know, it was just like people standing there. Unbelievable. It's just, to make fair play to Leicester. I can't take nothing away from them. They've done brilliantly.
Leicester, you just said there, Leicester's fans were very vocal, and I think there was 21,000 in the ground. Is that right?
Yeah, but it sounded like they had 50,000 in there.
It certainly did, and it was nice to see fans back at a game, even though it wasn't at full capacity.
Yeah.
Leicester's fans were very vocal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Chelsea's fans were very quiet, and that's not normal of Chelsea's fans, is it?
Well, it is nowadays, because we spoke about it on the radio yesterday. You're not allowed to stand up at Chelsea. They take your seat. This has been going on for 10 years. They have sterilised the Chelsea support now. You're not allowed to chant or sing certain songs, which I understand some of them. But the support, the camera goes on them. And I think the average age of the Chelsea fan was about 75. Whereas the Leicester fans was all young and up for it and kissing the badge. And our lot looked like they're at a funeral. You know, liven yourself up, like the team needs livening up. And if the supporters liven themselves up, the team might think, I think the team must have thought, we ain't got no support in this stadium. It was atrocious support. Anyone who's a Chelsea fan, just makes my piss ball, right? They don't get behind the team.
The only time the Chelsea fans were vocal, as were the Leicester fans, was at the beginning when the players took the knee.
Yeah, I love that. Again,
Chelsea fans did boo as well as Leicester fans. They said it was a small contingent on both sides.
That's bollocks. That's the BBC and BT playing it down, like turning the volume down so people at home, the armchair fans, think, oh, what a lovely crowd. We all support Black Lives Matter or against racism. Yeah, everyone don't want to see racism at football, any normal fan. You don't keep taking the bleeding knee now. That's all that. It don't do nothing.
I think the FA needs to. I think the FA needs to get the message that yes, we're all against racism. That's there's no doubt about that. But taking the knee means something else. It doesn't mean against racism.
No.
That's why players boo. That's my opinion.
And Wilfred Zaha won't take the knee. He said, "What's the point?" And he's black and a good player. And I fully understand what he's saying and where he's coming from. But the other thing, what pissed me off yesterday, was the two commentators, Guy and Mowbray. He's got to have a Leicester season ticket, hasn't he? He was playing Chelsea. And the other guy's that Jermaine Genius. He must have been run over by the Chelsea team coach when he was younger. He fucking hates Chelsea. And I think to myself, you two clowns. He needs cheering. He needs some happy pills, that Jermaine James. He's oh, Jesus. The two of them, when that was offside, they was like, they went, before it was given as offside, our equaliser, and the Guy Mowbray said, oh, it was a millimetre offside. What the fuck's a millimetre?
It's a blade of grass, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. So I thought the attacker had the advantage on an offside. If it is called as offside, they will go with the attacker, not the defender. But that to me was a perfectly good goal. And that, 5 minutes before the end, that commentator, I watched it on the BBC, so I can't watch the other side. He's another tosser. But he was like, oh, Leicester's won the cup. I'm thinking, mate, you've got 5 minutes to go. And then when Chelsea nearly equalised, it was ruled off by VAR. I think the pair of them was crying. They're the worst two. They hate. There's commentators who love Liverpool or love Tottenham, but years ago everybody hated Man United, didn't they? Because they were a big club, successful. Yeah, they did. And now everybody seems to hate Chelsea. Whether it's to do with this Super League thing, I don't know. Whether we're getting bitten on the arse about that, but the Genius and that guy Mowbray, they hate Chelsea. They can't stand Chelsea. For me, good old days, Jimmy Hill, Brian Moore, they were impartial.
They need to stay. I was just about to say that word.
You cannot have two games. Alan Smith, the ex-Leicester and Arsenal forward, he hates Chelsea. And there's other people who don't like Chelsea. Well, don't have them commentating on our games. That's unfair.
Very.
It's like having someone who hates Leicester. Because they had their wallet nicked in Leicester on the night out. It's like, no, it's just pathetic. That Jermaine Genius needs a few happy pills, I tell you. He's so dour. And that guy Mowbray, he talks about having sausage, egg and chips before the game. And don't forget, next game we've got coming up is Wrexham versus Stockport or something. We're not interested. Commentate on the fucking game, not on what you're
about to do. It's the FA Cup final.
That's what I mean. We're not interested in what you had for dinner. Or when your aunt is going to lays down on holiday. Well, don't give a shit. Commentate on the game. Other than that, get someone in who can do the job properly. Because them two obviously can't. They're tossers.
We'd have a good go, I think, Martin. Right, the scorer for Chelsea was Ben Chillwell.
Ex-Leicester,
Ex-Leicester. As you said, and all the papers are saying as well, that he was offside by millimetres. Now, like you've just said, what is a millimetre? It's a blade of grass. Surely this VAR thing now, it's too clinical. The only thing it should be used for is whether the ball's crossed the line or not, in my opinion, and that's it.
If it's offside, the linesman never give offside for it, and he was in on the play. He never flagged. You've got some geezers sitting 50 miles away who probably don't like Chelsea as well, thinking, fuck that, I ain't giving them the goal. Honestly, this VAR thing and the whole setup, but you can't take it away from Leicester. Brendan Rodgers done a great job. He played Chelsea at their own game. They played us at our own game. We need a centre forward. We need to get rid of the deadwood in the team, especially Juninho in midfield. I'm 65. I've got lung cancer. I can run faster than that clown. And he put a statement out after the Wednesday game against Arsenal when he passed it back to the midget in goal for us. He said, apparently he's put out a statement, if you don't understand what I do playing for Chelsea, then you don't understand football. No, mate, I do understand football, and you're fucking useless, and you can't run. So that's my statement to him. You go. The Chelsea fans hate him. He should have gone when Sarri won. Sarri bought him in from Italy. He should have took him back to where he went, at Juventus. Because he ain't no good at Chelsea. We need a clear out at Chelsea of deadwood, of rubbish. Because our them players wouldn't get in any other top 6 side. No, none of them would want. No one would want the goalkeeper. We'd give 72 million for him. That's
like we said yesterday on Pitch Radio, and the interview before, it's Frank Lampard's team, isn't it? It's not Tuchel's. He's just got to deal with the players he's got there at the moment.
But I think Gary brought up a good point yesterday. Is it Tuchel, old Tommy Boy, is he picking the team, or is someone telling him who to play? Because that's happened before at Chelsea, supposedly.
Yeah, interesting point.
Now, it's an interesting point. Was he told who to play? Was he told who to bring on and when? Which I've heard before. That's what ex-managers have said. That's what happens at the club. Someone from above says, right, this is the team. All he does is trains the team, coaches the team. But other than that, someone else picks the team. And that was a prime example yesterday, because that weren't a good side. He's got Werner on the wing. He's an English chicken. He's quick. So I did with Christie, but he wouldn't play for Chelsea. You know what I mean? Or Usain Bolt, they're quick. But they wouldn't make good foot. And Werner's quick. But yeah, we ain't got a centre forward. We need another. We never replaced Diogo Costa. We never replaced what's his name? My brain's gone. We've never had a big bustling centre forward no more, which we need. We need someone to upset defenders, but we haven't got that no more. Was Costa done it?
Drogba, wasn't it?
Drogba, yes, I was thinking of Diego Drogba. We never replaced him really. We've always got like people like Tammy Abraham come through the youth. He might be good at Bristol City or Aston Villa on loan, but no one else would have him in a Premiership team in their forward line. And apparently he's been left out of the squad no more. So there's another story. He didn't even make the bench yesterday.
Yeah.
Again, I don't rate him. Callum Hudson-Odoi, apparently Bayern Munich offered 20 million. They should have split their hand off. He's come on yesterday. Does his usual little backflip with his right foot under his left foot and goes off and loses the ball. We've got so much deadwood. We've got Thiago Silva, 36, 37 years of age. Time's caught up with him. He might have been a great defender in his day, but he didn't even close him down, the Gizos, the Leicester player. He ran 30, 40 yards with the ball. Nobody put in a tackle. Nobody closed him down. Now, surely, come on, you've got to look at that. And even the die-hard, half-wit Chelsea fans, you think, oh yeah, we done well. Did we bollocks? We didn't do well. We did. For the second year running, we ain't turned up. Now, that's disappointing.
Turn up.
No, we didn't turn up. And don't let anybody say, oh yeah, we was unlucky. Yes, Michael made a brilliant save, couple of good saves. The one from Mason Mount. I think Mason Mount was the only one who put a shift in. It looked like he was interested.
I want to talk about Schmeichel's saves.
Yeah.
Schmeichel is obviously from good stock. His dad is a fantastic goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best, if not the best, I've seen in my lifetime. Now, did Chelsea make him look good yesterday, or were they good saves?
That was good. So you can't make a goalkeeper look good with a shot which is going in with power. I mean, he got across. If he had been 6 inches a little bit further to his left, maybe he would have let it in, or it would have hit the post and gone in. But we're great at nicking a late couple of goals. We did at Man City the week before. Last 5 minutes, we scored 2 goals. If it had gone in Mason Mount and Ben Chillwell's, gone in or not been offside, we might have nicked that 2-1. And it would have been lucky old Chelsea. And we would have been arsehole lucky because we was outplayed, outfought, outsung on the terraces. The whole thing was again. The commentators didn't like us. It was never going to be our day. And whoever picked that team, whether it was Tommy Tuchel or someone above him, they need to have a long, hard look at themselves. I rate him as a coach, as I've said yesterday. They should give him a 10-year contract because that man knows football inside out. Let him pick the team. Let him come up with the tactics and leave him on to get the job.
Yeah,
Let the others run.
Yeah, you can't have anybody in the club or in club staff telling the manager who to pick. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, apparently it's gone on before, and everyone said this has gone on before. People who've been at the club before have said, "Oh, the ex-manager, whoever it was told you got to pick this side." But I mean, that goalkeeper, he's made so many calamities. He is fucking useless, and people still defend him. I'll give him time. How much more? He ain't going to grow any taller. He's only about fucking 4'10". So give him time. He's going to go up to 6'7".
I didn't realise. Is he not the regular keeper at Chelsea then?
No, Mendy is. We got him from French football. Apparently, our ex-keeper, Petr Cech, rated him highly in French football and went after him. You know.
So begs the question then is why put him in goal for an FA Cup final?
Well, one thing maybe we paid 70. No one had ever heard of the kid before. He played for Atletico Bilbao or something like that up in the Basque country. But 72 million. No one had ever heard of him.
Yeah.
No one was scared. You know, Liverpool signed a new keeper, great keeper. Man City signed a new keeper, good keeper. We buy this clown. He's made so many mistakes. He's dived over the ball, round the ball. You know, look at the Arsenal goal the other day. He weren't paying attention. Bad back pass from, again, Juninho, which a bad back pass from Zuma to Jorginho. There's the three clowns you want out the club for a start. Instead of picking a team, you want to pick the players you want to get rid of. We pay a lot of money for
very
shit
true.
at Chelsea.
Yeah.
A lot of money for rubbish.
Yeah.
And it's got to stop down. Who's ever interfering, if there is anyone interfering, they need to stop and think, well, I'll run my business, I'll let the coach do his business, and that's the end of it.
I completely agree. There shouldn't be any influence from the club staff at all. It's down to the manager. That's what he paid for.
The biggest thing I could never understand, we brought Mourinho in, and his first 2 years he won the title.
Yeah.
2 years on the trot. The football weren't. It was all right. He tightened up the defence. He brought in some good players, Carvalho and a few others from Portuguese football, Ferreira from Portuguese football, and he tightened us up and he made us good. Drogba was in, and we looked quite good, and we won the league 2 years on the trot. Then into his third year, which is normal with Jose, sort of the players didn't buy into it. They say the players were worn out with his tactics and training regime. So he goes. Yeah. Then we bring in a few more, Avram Grant and a few other players. Robin Di Matteo, ex-Chelsea player, won the Champions League, won the FA Cup in his first year. And then Carlos Ancelotti done the double in his first year. And he falls out with Ray Wilkins, Butch Wilkins, bless him, rest in peace. He gets the sack because apparently he said something to a director's wife at a Chelsea do. So the director don't like him and goes to Abramovich and says it's either me or him goes. So that's
not football, is it? That's politics.
Of course it is. But this little shit house who's caused all the trouble, he's since been sacked at Chelsea and said, get your gear off your desk, you're going. He come past all us like outside the ground once. He got dogs abuse because he's an horrible little shit. And he caused all the trouble. So then Ancelotti sort of lost interest, and then they sacked him. The same geezer, he's gone to the papers and said, Ancelotti better watch himself. This same director has gone to the papers and said to the media, Ancelotti better watch himself. Last game of the season at Everton, or one of the games at Everton, he goes in the tunnel and this geezer sacks him. He's our best manager we've ever had.
Yeah.
And yet we sack him. You know, the media loved him, the fans loved him. He's a class act, Ancelotti, as he's showing at Everton. You know, he's got limited funds at Everton.
Yeah.
We were scoring 6, 7, 5 goals every game. We had 4 decent forwards. Now at Chelsea, we haven't even got a decent forward. What's happening? Someone needs to have a long, hard look at themselves about this club. Because, you know, as we said, it's not the same fans again. As I said yesterday, no, we spoke about it on Pitch Radio yesterday. It's Chelsea, you're not allowed to sing, you're not allowed to shout, you're not allowed to stand up. This ain't the fucking opera or the ballet. This is football. It's passionate. So your local working class people from Battersea and Mitcham and Sutton and Pimlico and all the surrounding Basingstoke and Tunbridge Wells, they ain't going to football no more because they're not welcome. They want your tourists, your half and half scarves.
Yeah.
Chelsea shirt for 100 quid.
Yeah.
Chelsea baseball cap for 50 quid. It's all bollocks, mate. Come on. as we said yesterday, too much football on telly. No one gives a shit about the FA Cup. Only Leicester because they won it. And fair play to them, I'll say it again.
They've never ever won it, have they?
No, 4 times.
And their last appearance was 1969. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, against Man City, they lost. They've lost 3 before that. And they won yesterday. Fair play to them. I've got friends up in Leicester. And I've texted them and said, well done, you deserve the win. You're a great player.
That's a sign of a gentleman, Martin, that you can hold your hands up and say you deserved it. You played us off the park. You wanted it. Chelsea, obviously, for whatever reason, didn't.
No.
I want to go back to Ben Chillwell's offside goal. All the papers are saying millimetres. VAR is saying millimetres. Now, should you be caught, or should you be the rule is you're offside if it's millimetres? Surely not.
I would say they've got to have a look at the rules and maybe change it if you're 6 inches offside.
I would have thought so, Martin, because if it's going to be millimetres, then you're talking about shoelaces.
Or
you're talking about the front of a player's football boot or his stud. It's silly.
But we've had people offside, man, with their elbow or their hand. You can't score with your elbow. You can't score with your hand.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Or their chest is sticking out. Oh, this millimetre. What's millimetres? A Rizzler paper. Come on, describe millimetre. These commentators, they got the answer straight away. Oh, he was offside by a millimetre. How do they know what a fucking millimetre is?
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, I just think the whole day yesterday was spoiled by the commentators, and the whole thing for me was not because I'm a sore loser, but the whole thing was lost on that decision to cancel out an equaliser for Chelsea.
Yeah, and obviously the set of Chelsea fans that did get a ticket. Yeah. No, let's not forget now. This wasn't all Chelsea fans. No. There was only 20. I say only. Yeah. There was 21,000 in the ground. That was split up between the two sides.
Yeah.
As you said, they had to go through some real crazy stuff with COVID jabs and that.
Oh, and you got your ticket sent. You didn't get a ticket. You had to print your own ticket off.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you, our lot. They must have booked it through Saga Holidays over 75s or something. Because there was no one singing. There was no one. They looked like a bunch of dibs, like taken out of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or something. They look like a load of cranks. I mean, if you're a Chelsea fan there, you must think to yourself, if I was there yesterday, I'd have thought to myself, what's going on? It was like a cemetery. God's waiting room there yesterday. You know, there's no atmosphere from our boys.
The commentators and the papers have said that the Leicester fans were really vocal.
Oh, they was up for it. It was
obviously the Leicester fans were up for it because they've never won the FA Cup. The team were up for it. Chelsea's fans wasn't up for it, and Chelsea's team wasn't up for it. I think that's how you surmise the day, really.
Well, to me, Wembley, we've been there so many times that it's worn off a little bit out of Wembley, the Chelsea fans. We expect to get to Wembley. We're a big club. We spend a lot of money every season.
Yeah.
So we expect to get to the FA Cup final. But if you do get there, you expect your team to show a bit of passion and pride to wear the shirt. And some of them shithouses never. They don't have a clue. You know, I was watching like the lineup yesterday. They come along, the Leicester players. I think there was about 1 or 2 of them singing the national anthem. They come to the Chelsea players. Half of them don't even know. They just think it's Eurovision on or something. They don't know it's the national anthem. They get the Mason Mount. And Reece James weren't singing it. But Mason Mount was singing the national anthem. Out of all them players lined up who's just been Prince William, right? There's only one person and the referee, the linesman, singing the national anthem. The rest of them don't know what's going on.
No.
That's the state of football. You've got one geezer singing the national anthem out of both teams.
No, you should have your full 11 players singing their hearts out.
Yeah, but they don't, because they're from Brazil, they're from Portugal, they're from Italy, they're from Spain, they're from France, they're from Nigeria, they're from Pakistan. I mean, the other thing I think is absolutely diabolical. and they got to look into this. There's 2 Leicester players running round with a Palestinian flag at the end. What's going on in Israel at the moment?
Yeah, that's
political.
politics, isn't it?
That's
politics should be in football.
Now imagine if a Chelsea player, we had a Jewish player playing for us, and he got the Israeli flag out.
Oh, there'd be outrage.
All the woke and the lefties and all that began mental. But 2 Leicester players are running round with a fucking Palestinian flag. And what does Palestinian flags mean to most people? Hamas, a terrorist organisation.
Exactly.
So how can they get away with that? That's
leave
another thing.
that out of football completely.
Of course it is. Taking the knee and waving Palestinian flags have got nothing to do with the FA Cup final. Nothing to do with it. No,
it hasn't. I just want to mention one thing before we end, and I can't remember. It was on Pitch Radio yesterday. Yeah. I can't remember. It was either you or Gary Harris said that Leicester players, this is their game. This is their chance for a bit of silverware.
Yeah.
Where Chelsea have obviously got another game.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that was in their minds yesterday?
No. If you're a professional footballer, surely you take each game as it comes. I'll tell you what we'll end up doing, and I hope I'm wrong. But we've got Leicester again in the league on Tuesday night, 8:15. Now, if we don't beat them or they beat us, we get a draw. We ain't going to qualify. We've got Villa away next Sunday at 4 o'clock. If we don't win both of them games, or win one and draw one, we ain't going into Europe next year. Then we've got Man City. If we lose that in the final out in Porto, in Portugal, we ain't qualified for Europe by winning it. And then, so we could end up not being in the top 4, FA Cup losers and Champions League losers. God forbid if that happens. I'd rather us win the Champions League and qualify in 4th or 3rd, which we could do. But
yeah, definitely.
If we lose against Leicester again on Tuesday, draw or lose at Villa, lose the Champions League final against Man City, our season's finished. And so I can see what's going to happen. They're going to think, oh, the top people at Chelsea, the owners or the chairman think, oh, we'll get rid of Tommy Tuchel because he ain't really done nothing for us. He's only on, I think, a 2-year contract anyway.
But he hasn't had the chance, has he?
No, but Chelsea have got... how many managers do we go through? You know, we just think, oh, Di Matteo, Chelsea legend, 2nd quickest scorer at Wembley in an FA Cup final.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he wins the FA Cup. We beat Liverpool in the FA Cup final. About 3 or 4 days later, we go out to Munich. I was there and we won it. We won it. On penalties in their own backyard, we beat the Germans. But we don't progress on. We should have won it another 3 or 4 times since 9 years ago. But we ain't. We're in it now. But if we end up not qualifying, end up losing the FA Cup, losing the Champions League, I know what the club will do. I guarantee you. They ain't going to get... How'd you go, Thomas? Go on, up you go. Thank you very much. And they'll bring in Avram Grant or Gus Hiddink, who's about 75 and I think, oh, we'd steady this year. There's no forward thinking with Chelsea. The great teams of the past, Liverpool, Man United, even Man City do it now. They go after they've won the league or the Champions League, they go and buy 2, 3, 4 good players and build their squad up. Get rid of the shit and bring in some good players and then march on again. Win it again, bring 2 or 3 new players in. We don't. We just think, oh, we won something, we'll leave it at that.
Sit on your laurels. Yeah.
Sit on our laurels. That's what we do. Yeah, and that's a Chelsea.
Tommy Tuchel needs time, like you said. With you mentioned Man United there. I mean, Alex Ferguson, you know, a legend. But at the beginning of his Man United career, things wasn't going his way. But they were loyal to him, and he did for them.
Well, it was a cup win at Nottingham Forest, I think it was, or a replay at Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup. I think Solskjaer scored. Solskjaer, whatever his big name was. He scored, Ollie scored, and that changed his fortunes round, and they just went on from there. But he built and dismantled about 3 teams, Alex Ferguson. And since then, no one has ever come in and done what he done.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. But he bought world-class players, maybe 2 or 3, a couple of other ones a little bit more unknown, just to build the squad up, get rid of a bit of crap, what ain't no good. And that's how he built a side. That's how he built a winning side. We don't at Chelsea. We win something and we think, oh, that's it. These are, but it's a negative attitude at Chelsea, and it's so frustrating for the fans. But
yeah,
there
that's
you go.
what you feel for. It's the fans.
Yeah, I'll tell you what will be happening now. they'll be saying next year, if they get rid of Tuchel, they'll say, I'll bring Frank Lampard back. I'll give Frankie another chance. That's how idiots.
Because in the last interview, Martin, I asked you, and you said that there's a small contingent that are, let's call them Frank Lampard loyal. I don't really get that. Once the manager's gone, he's gone.
But we spoke about this a couple of times now, Matt, yesterday as well, on the radio. That there's people who say, this is Frank Lampard's team at Wembley. Yeah, but it might be it is the players Frank Lampard had in his squad. But he didn't get a tune out of them. Tommy Tuchel's come in, he's got a tune out of the players. But I don't know what happened yesterday, whether he was told who to play. The geezer in goal should never be in goal. You're better off having me in goal. Because, honestly, 99% of Chelsea fans will tell you, this geezer's rubbish.
He's no good.
And I'm not trolling him or disrespecting him, but it's just shit. He is really a bad keeper, mate. He would not get in any Premiership teams. He'd be lucky to get in the Championship. We pay 72 million. We get 10 million back from him. We're lucky.
It does make you think what's going on behind the scenes.
Something's going on. Something ain't right.
It's Gary Harris said yesterday that the interview after a certain game, Tuchel just didn't. I think he seemed pissed off. That's what Gary said. His body language was down.
He seems happy with the players, as we've said before. He's one of the chaps. You can see him in a Stone Island jacket, or CP, or Paul and Sharp running on the pitch. He's like he's just come out of the bar and runs on the pitch, and the stewards can't stop him. He gets the players in the headlock, ruffles their hair, messes about with them, and shakes everyone's hand. The players love him, but yesterday, I don't know what happened. He picked the wrong formation, the wrong tactics. I mean, if the Mason Mount goal had gone on and the Chillwell goal was allowed, we'd have won 2-1. And that's the great steps, and we're always saying, oh, 1-0 Chelsea. Now on to the next game. But no, we're covering up, we're papering over the cracks. You've got to look at what is actually going on at the club. Have we got ambition? You know, everyone says, oh, Roman spent, he's a fan, and he spent 500 million in his 20-year reign. We've just thrown money at mediocre players, and he's been advised by mediocre people. You know, chairmen and directors who have got his ear and saying, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do this. But he needs someone, well, he's got a decent director of football there now in Petr Cech. If he listens to him, you know what I mean? And
Petr Cech knows what's going on. He's been there.
He knows his players. He's found his head with Eduardo Mendy, the French kid, the black kid in goal for us. And he's been shaky at the beginning, but he's settled down. He would have probably saved that yesterday. I'm not saying he would have done, but there's a good chance. He's a big, tall, lanky geezer. He might have got to that. But the other, you know, there's just a lack of concentration with Kepa. He doesn't seem to be able to concentrate. And he does this silly thing. We want to score a goal. There's a couple of minutes going. Someone will pass back. I mean, look at that. We needed a goal yesterday. We got a corner. Leicester cleared the corner to the halfway line. It goes to Kanté. What does Kanté do? Either knock it out wide and someone crosses it. We've got Giroud on. We've got 6 forwards on, right? 6 forwards. So the thing which anyone would have thought they would do was knock it out to some either wing. They crossed it. We've got half a chance of scoring. It comes back to Kanté from our corner. What does he do with it? He kicks it back to Kepa in goal. I'm thinking, fuck me. Yeah. You know, I'm not a footballer.
Sunday league, innit?
And then what does he do? He does his usual thing. He traps it with his studs, rolls it with his studs about 4 times. I'm thinking, kick the fucking ball up there.
Get it up there. We've got 6 forwards on. Get it up there.
It's just, honestly, I don't know what went wrong yesterday, but it was wrong tactics, wrong team selection, no passion. And again, 2 years on the trot, we've turned up at Wembley. We've got to a final. We played Real Madrid twice. We played them off the park twice. You know, the first time out there, we could have beat them 4 or 5-0. Come to Stamford Bridge, we nick a 2-0. And we was tight everywhere. And then before that, we lose 5-2 at home to West Brom, who've just got relegated. I think and then we drew 0-0 with Brighton. And Brighton looked the better side in the second half. So I don't know what's going on with that club. They don't seem to be able to. Certain games they'll up the level and perform, and there's other games where we are piss poor, terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's whether they turn up, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of consistency at Chelsea.
None at all. None at all.
At the moment.
No.
Okay, Martin.
Right.
This was a FA Cup final reaction.
Yeah.
Leicester 1-0 against Chelsea in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So this has been Martin King for SW6 Blues, Pride of London. There'll be more videos coming soon.
Yep. Cheers, mate.